Okay, so the move is called shake the throat. But before we get into it, let's just set the stage just a little bit. Okay, so if you've been watching my videos in order, then you have a few moves by now. You know about washing the face, and you know about digging the eyes, and so you know that we have these different levels of techniques. Now, I really like the eyes, eh? They attack you, you jam your thumb into their eye socket, and you work it like it owes you money, right? Good times, great way to make friends. But imagine this. Imagine you're here, you're having fun with the eyes. So you've stopped them. They've attacked you. You've stopped them. But now you're looking around and you're thinking, how am I going to get safe? And, maybe it's not so easy. Do you know where you are? Do you know where safety is? Maybe safety is a 3-hour walk down a lonely road. So maybe you're having fun here with their eye, and that's great for now, but you're not truly safe until you're for sure, not going to have them get back up and come after you. Like you're a mile down the road, you're running, you're tired, and they're catching up to you. That's not a good picture. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm attacked, I want to make sure that I'm ending it right here, right now. Okay, they're not going to get back up. They're not going to chase after me. They're not going to come looking for round number 2. So maybe I've got to make sure that they take a really long nap. So right about now is probably where I got to watch how I say this. If you're watching this video and there's a section that's cut out of it or a section that's missing, go to my website, get the course, find the full video. This next bit might not be what social media is looking for. I don't know. Let's try it. So what are we calling it these days, eh? Maybe maybe it's so serious that you have to unalive them. Stupid word. Well, look, you're already here in a fight for your life. Your hands are already in this zone. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to their neck. But this time you're not just going to poke. That's kid stuff. We're playing for keeps now. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to hold your hand like a lobster claw. And you're going to grab their throat and you're going to shake back and forth. Let's break that down a little bit more. Hold your hand like this. So a bit of a curve there, right? But you're not trying to make a fist. You're just going and clamping inward like that. And I want you to hold your fingers and your thumb rigid. Okay? And you're just pinching. So what you're going to do is, when you do this pinching, you're going to pinch it around their windpipe, their trachea, their thyroid cartilage. This part, see? So you clamp down like this, and you go back and forth. And what you're doing is you press in, feel for the windpipe, clamp onto it, and then wiggle back and forth. Feels great. Now you can try it on yourself, but go gentle. Even going gently, this can leave you with a sore throat, and it might be later today or it might be tomorrow. And if you are working with a partner, yeah, you can try it on yourself. You can try it on a dummy like this. You can even try it on your partner's shoulder. But if you're going for their neck area, just find the zone. That's it. Don't even try to do it gently. Don't even do that. Here's why it works so well. It only takes about 40 pounds of pressure to do damage, structural damage to the throat area. So you don't have to crush everything completely. What you're doing is you're tearing and tugging and bruising, and you're still causing damage, even though it's not something like absolute. You're not trying to punch their throat and collapse the entire thing, okay? We don't need to tear the throat out like you see in the movies. What we're doing is we're clamping down mainly so that our fingers don't flex. We don't want our fingers to give, so we're going rigid with our fingers. And we're clamping down enough to get a grip, but it doesn't have to be the total of everything. Okay, so you clamp down, get a good grip. If you slip off, no problems. Go back in for a second try. Change hands. Some necks might be thick. They might be slippery. Don't worry about it. Pressing inward is going to help you find the structures that you need to find. And you don't even have to be too picky. If you're in here and it's messy and you find some part of the throat, you sort of clamp down on whatever you find and grab and tug, and you can reposition as you go. And so when I say tugging, I'm not talking about just little tugs this way. What I want you to do is I want you to tug full on in one direction, and as soon as their own structures stop your hand, you go in the other direction. So it's a hard thrust one way, then another way, then another way, and you're just doing it really, really fast. Now, again, don't do this to your training partner, but in real time, you might feel something pop or crunch. Well, that's the chance for you to think, okay, have they stopped moving enough? Do I feel like I'm going to have enough time to get to safety? Maybe you can stop when you feel that. Or maybe you got to keep going. This move right here, this is a loaded pistol. This is the final chapter. So you got to promise me, you're only going to use this when there's two things going on, okay? First, you must have full certainty that your attacker means you grievous bodily harm, meaning even if you survive, you're never going to be the same, okay? So it's life and death. And you can't get to safety. Like, you need that extra time. And then I guess just one final thing. Okay, look, consider calling for medical help because your attacker is going to need it. And don't use this when grandma won't pass the butter, okay? This is only for when it's them or you. So again, here's the move. You hold your hands like a lobster claw or pliers, a set of pliers, and you find their throat, their windpipe, and you press inward and you clamp down and then you shake back and forth, okay? If you get behind their windpipe, great, but you don't have to. As long as you're pressing inward, you're going to be fine. And if you're off target, just do it, and you can reposition as you go. If you slip off, go in again, switch hands, keep on going. If you need to, you can switch up to the eyes and then back to here, because that will also help confuse your attacker. When you're working with a dummy like this, great, go for it. When you're working with a buddy, maybe use their shoulder or something else, but if you're in the neck area, just find the zone, leave it at that. Now look, this is not the only way to make someone sleep for a really, really long time, okay? But look, firearms, that's a legal nightmare. Knives, that's almost as bad of a legal nightmare. You've got other gadgets that you can buy that can be quite dangerous, but again, it's a legal nightmare and you don't need that. You don't need to defend yourself and then have to justify yourself in court. One thing you can be sure about this is you're only ever going to be able to use it when they are full on attacking you, which means it is pure self-defense. Plus, I mean, isn't it good to know that you can defend yourself with that level of absolute certainty, and you don't need a weapon. You don't need something to hold in your hand. You've got everything you need right here. Okay, here it is one more time. Let's just go through the whole thing from the top, right? They attack me, I can defend myself, I go in, I dive in, I find their eyes, maybe I stop them, that's great, but now I'm looking around. Maybe they're on the ground at this point, I don't know. Maybe they're up against the wall, or maybe we're just here and they're no longer, like I might be holding them up at this point because if this is working well, I don't know what they're gonna be doing, but at some point I can be looking around thinking, how am I gonna get away? Well, this is gonna be tough, okay? It's them or me. Go in and start to shake. And when I feel like they're not moving anymore, on my own time, I can calmly walk down that road. They're not getting back up. Please, only use this as a last resort. All right, you're doing fantastic. Thanks for sticking with this. Let's keep training.